Hello everyone. We are now going to talk about a wonderful chapter which is actually allowing me to teach you this movement of my hand and this movement of my body. We are going to talk about all these movements in this chapter which is possible by the skeletal system. So before talking about that, we will first see what exactly is movement and locomotion. So, movement is a characteristic property of the living organisms, right, due to which they are able to be differentiated between the non-living objects as well as the living organisms. See, living organisms, they show movement on their own, whereas non-living objects, they can be moved from one place to another only by the help of some external force. On its own, a non-living thing or a non-living object, it cannot move from one place to another. So this is one of the most important characteristic of us being called as living organisms. Now, these are two pictures. With this, we will understand the difference between movement and locomotion. Are these two the same terms or are they used in different contexts? So, movement generally is the act of changing the place or the position by the entire body or by some part of the body. That is a broader term used and that is known as movement. Movements due to which actually the change of place or location is taking place, that is specifically known as locomotion. So now I am changing my locus. See, I am moving from one place to another. This is known as locomotion. And generally we term that if I am standing at one particular place and I am just moving my body parts, right, like my lips to speak or my hands to show this type of a gesture, that is known as movement specifically. Now locomotion is generally done for the search of food, for the search of shelter, for the search of mate, or for some type of protection or some type of a breeding ground, protection from predators and many other life activities. They are actually allowing us or they are actually causing us to change the position from one place to another, which is specifically known as locomotion. Now, with this, we are actually going to talk about the various type of movements which are seen by the cells of our body. So, there are three main type of movements which are seen by the cells of our body. The very first being the amoeboid movement, then the second being the ciliary movement, and the third is the muscular movement. So, what exactly is the amoeboid movement? You can see a picture over here. This is the movement of a cell just like a amoeba moves. So how amoeba moves? Amoeba moves by the extension of its pseudopodia. This type of a movement which is shown by some of our cells, that is known as an amoeboid movement. So the pseudopodial movement, or which is also known as the amoeboid movement, is actually the movement which is affected by the formation of extensions of protoplasm, that is known as pseudopodia. These are due to the streaming movement of the protoplasm just as seen in the amoeba organism, and that is the reason from here we have taken the name of this type of a movement as a amoeboid movement. We can look over here. Here we can see at this particular region the protoplasm is going to concentrate along with the help of some long actin filaments. These are going to cause the extension of this lamellopodium towards the one direction. Then further what will happen, the rearrangement of these actin filaments is going to take place and this is going to pull the later half of the cell towards the moving direction. This type of a movement by the streaming motion of protoplasm is specifically known as amoeboid movement. And it is seen by leukocytes of our body, that is some WBCs, as well as by the macrophages of our body. They show this type of a movement. And as I told you, some cytoskeletal elements like the microfilaments, they are actually going to help in the facilitating of this particular movement. Then the second type of movement as is very clearly explained by the word itself, ciliary. So what is ciliary movement? The movement of the cells which is taking place because of the coordination movements of the cilia that are present on the epithelial cells in most of the internal tubular organs. This type of a movement is known as ciliary movement. So now, suppose this is a cell, let's say this is an epithelial cell, and the epithelial cell is having such hair-like projections. These hair-like projections are actually known as the cilia. The cilia, they beat in one particular direction, in one specific direction, which facilitates the movement of surrounding substances in one particular direction. So we can see over here, this type of a cilia is generally present in the upper respiratory tract like the trachea. Then it is present in vasa efferentia as well as in the oviducts or the fallopian tubes. And in this way, like in the trachea, in the respiratory tract, it facilitates the movement of the dust particles or the mucus laden substances in one particular direction. That is the movement of the dust particles or the foreign substances as well as mucus towards the upper direction, so that it can be spit out of the mouth or it can be swallowed into the esophagus for removal from the body. Then in the vas efferentia, the movement of sperms takes place this way, and similarly in the fallopian tubes or the eggs, in the fallopian tubes or the oviducts, the movement of eggs takes place respectively this way. We can see a picture over here. This is the fallopian tube having the cilia, and we can see how the egg is being moved towards one particular direction. Then we come to the next type of a movement, that is known as the muscular movement. So muscular movement in our body is the major type of a movement, and that is facilitated by the muscles of our body. This type of a movement is muscular. So muscular movements are the movements which are found in majority of animals, and as I told, they are actually brought about by the contraction of the muscles of our body. They may be either for locomotion or for movement of a body part. For just moving one part of the body or actually moving the complete body, both of this can be facilitated by the muscular movements. And as I told, the movement of our limbs, the movement of our lips, the movement of our tongue, jaws, everything requires the movement of muscles. So this was all about the various type of movements that are taking place in our body. Apart from this, there is also one type of a movement known as flagellar movement, which is seen in the sperms, that is the human sperms or sperms of certain organisms. Here, the tail of the sperm actually can be told as a flagella, which helps in the movement, which helps in the swimming of the sperms. So now in our next videos, we are going to talk about the muscular movement in detail, and we will see the type of muscles which are actually helping in this type of a movement. Thank you.
To buy these books, you can go to www.cengage.co.in, or you can also find the links in the video description given below. Thank you.